Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Screamin'. Welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and the final weekend before the final shape prep intel. And today, once again, is Friday, so we have our Friday weekly update. XUR has returned, as well as Trials of Osiris. So as always, I'll give you a brief rundown on those two things, as well as all the other farms, glitches, and cheeses that you're going to want to know, and prep info before the launch of the final shape. There's a lot of great stuff to do over the weekend if you haven't had a chance to play very much this week, and even for just today if you are planning on playing this day before tomorrow's reset. But for XUR, today or this weekend, he can be found over on Nessus in the big tree in the Watcher's Grave. And we have some excellent loot, I have to say. Especially based on some previews that I've seen for the final shape, some weapons that I think are going to be added to the game. I think for people who may need something to just compensate for a couple of those, we have the Suros regime for the auto rifle. Now, this is an amazing exotic, and if you don't have it, pick it up, because if you didn't know, it helps restore health, and we are also going to be getting the Red Death back in the final shape. So this is kind of, I think, in preparation for that, just to have something else to compete. I don't think it's going to compete with the Red Death, at least not at the launch of the weapon, because from what I hear, the Red Death has amazing healing. But pick it up if you don't have it. We have the Graviton Forfeit for the Hunter class with a 69 stat roll. Excellent stat roll across the board. You're going to find that this is kind of the thing this weekend, but definitely the kind of distribution you're looking for. And this is only 2 off of the highest possible roll you can get on any exotic, and only 1 stat point off from the highest possible stat roll you can get from XUR, which is 70. 71 currently being the highest possible stat roll on any exotic from any location. XUR will only ever sell them at 70. You will never see a 71 stat roll from XUR, but you can see a 70 like we have right here with the Actium War Rig. Never really seen this particular exotic with such a high stat roll sold from XUR. Very rarely do you see a 70 at all, but pick it up if you don't have it, just because if you are looking for this exotic for any reason, I don't know if it plays really well for PvP or PvE at the moment. Let me know in the comments. But you probably won't find one with a higher stat roll than this ever. So if you have one, this one's probably better than that. Same thing goes for the Graviton Forfeit. And this actually, where this is sort of a, I would say, mediocre stat roll, just high stats, this is actually a really good stat distribution with mobility, recovery, discipline, and intellect. I love seeing all of those things, especially for the Hunter. And high intellect, kind of wasted maybe on the Titan. Not terrible, but a little bit more niche. And then we have a 67 roll on the Karenstein armlets. Would have loved to have seen that mobility and resilience, but also an amazing roll. You can still build into the recovery, discipline, and intellect of this one. I don't think these are quite as good as the ones that I have, though I think they are slightly higher in the stat total department. But across the board, some really good exotics this weekend from XUR. And as far as exotic loot goes from XUR, I'm going to give this like an A-, just because you never see one this high, or at least very rarely, and you never really see them all this high across the board as far as stats go. So really good stuff from XUR today as far as exotic loot. On to the legendary weapons. We have an annual skate with slide shot and opening shot. I bet this is really good in PvP. I've always liked the annual skate, especially since it was brought back. We have the legal action with surplus and frenzy. Also a good PvP weapon, though kind of a wasted roll. We have a disparity with pugilist, headstone, and ambush. Deep sight activation weapon here if you're looking for a really good PvE pulse rifle in the stasis department. This is a good one. We have the Far Future with Surplus and Opening Shot. We have a Last Man Standing with Threat Detector and Swashbuckler, as well as Disaster Plan. We have the Interference 6 with Clown Cartridge and Threat Detector, and then we have a Recurrent Impact with Genesis Firing Line and Land Tank, another deep side activation weapon. This is kind of, I don't see these as much as I'd like, but decent rolls across the board. I would maybe pick this up for PvE. Probably very decent for PvP. This is also probably not too bad for PvP, just because it's a sniper with Opening Shot. As far as legendary armor goes, for the Warlock, we have a 65 on the gauntlets, 65 on the chest armor, 65 on the helmet, and a 60 on the boots. So, decent. This is also the, I forget when this set, or what season this set was from. Let me know in the comments section down below if you remember. But, let's just take a look. See what it looks like really fast. Can't remember if this was a standout. Nothing really standout as far as cosmetics go. And the stat rolls, though, are decent on the Warlock. They're actually much better on the Hunter and Titan. I believe there's a 67 roll on the boots and really good stat distributions across the board for Hunter and Titan. So if you're looking for some decent legendary armor, you're playing one of those classes, I want to go check out XUR. We have a Hawkmoon with Eye of the Storm and Heavy Grip. Exotic Ciphers as always, and that is going to be it for XUR today. And somehow I died while I was looking at XUR. But we're now going to make our way over to the tower. Check out what Saint 14 has this weekend for Trials of Osiris. The Trials map this weekend is one of the new maps. It is Cirrus Plaza, I believe how it's pronounced. So, good luck. Certainly one of the more interesting maps. I think it's a reskin of one that was taken out from like the Taken Shore way back that I actually really liked as well. So I like sort of maps like that where it's a lot of different little alleyways or avenues, but you have good line of sight and good verticality. We load into the tower also this week. If you're looking to farm out the Nightfall, I believe this is, I can't actually remember which one this was this week. Let me know in the comments what the Nightfall was this week. If it was one of the Battlegrounds, perhaps? I don't believe it was a strike. But maybe it was a strike. But the reward for this week is the Uzuma RR4 sniper rifle. You get the Adept version if you complete the Grandmaster. This is probably why I don't remember what the strike was this week, because nobody really wants this sniper rifle. At least not currently. Quickly check out what Banshee 44 is selling, and remember his loot will rotate 7 hours after the daily reset timer. So we only have this for another 7 hours, roughly, from the time of posting. Nothing terrible stand out. Bump of the Night might not be bad. Austringer might not be bad for PvE. I know some people like this bow, but this also has headstone on it, this pulse rifle. We'll head over to Saint 14, check out what his Adept loot is. But then I want to cover a couple other things, just some good prep that everybody I think should be doing this weekend if you have a chance to play. A couple of little updates, some glitches, of course, especially if you're trying to farm out any of the brave weapons. There's a pretty major farm glitch that you're going to want to know, and I'm sure most people have been trying to farm those out as it's the last weekend, and apparently it's supposed to be double drops, though that hasn't been working as well as it should be. However, we will have a fix for that. The adept weapon this week is the Prophet Scout Rifle. I think this is actually more of a PvE weapon, so I'm sure a lot of PvP guys are not going to be too excited about this, but there you go. Remember, if you're somebody who doesn't play PvP or the Crucible or Trials really at all, still good to play at least a little bit to get your Incisor Trace Rifle. You only have to get to rank 10, and there are ways to get some free rewards from Trials of Osiris, so possibly get one of these for free. Let me know in the comments. I've been meaning to post about it, but I keep getting sidetracked. I'm sorry about that if you've been meaning or looking for that video. But you can go back to some previous videos. I think I still have something where I talked about it. One of the best PvE weapons. It's always a really unfortunate thing. I think a lot of the Trials weapons, much to the dismay of both PvE and PvP players, are really very PvE focused. So both PvP players don't want them and PvE players want them but can't get them. The real double-edged sword of Trials of Osiris. But now let's go around the directory really quick just to cover a few more things. For today's legendary Lost Sector, it is the Skydock 4, awarding exotic helms. So if you're looking for your L'Oreal Splendor or any one of the other exotics that drop from legendary Lost Sectors, this is one of the best ones to farm. And of course, if you've been using the exotic Postmaster glitch, which I talk about every weekend, and I'll just briefly give you a recap quickly. Essentially, when you loot an exotic from a legendary Lost Sector, it drops as the exotic piece. It does not drop as an exotic Ingram. However, if you have a full inventory of Ingrams on your person, like I do here, the exotic will drop as an Ingram and get sent to your Postmaster. So it'll be an Ingram in your Postmaster waiting to be pulled out of your Postmaster, and it will decrypt immediately into an exotic piece of armor. However, the exotics that are pulled out of your Postmaster, when they are exotics from legendary Lost Sectors, are tied to the daily legendary Lost Sector, not when it was farmed. So you can essentially farm a legendary Lost Sector on any given day, regardless of the loot. And if you have a full inventory of Ingrams on your Postmaster, or excuse me, on your person, all those exotics will get sent to your Postmaster as an exotic Ingram. You can take them out of the Postmaster on a different day, and they will decrypt to that day's legendary Lost Sector loot. So farm on one day, get the loot of a different day. I always like to talk about that a little bit just because people always ask me questions about it, and they didn't know that they could do it. A lot of these things might not be necessary heading into the final shape, but good to know all the same. If you've been trying to do Pantheon this week, good luck. I do have a few notes, some glitches for Pantheon, especially for Nezarec and Rolk. I did talk about the Rolk one in a previous video, so that'll be should be linked, or you can just go back a few videos and you'll see it. But pretty good glitch for that. Pretty good glitch for Nezarec, or Cheese for Nezarec. If you're looking for your 0 hour completion on Legendary, there's an amazing time glitch as well as an out of bounds skip glitch, and a pretty convincing boss cheese for solo players. Even if you're trying to get a solo flawless run, any of these things will work. The infinite time glitch probably being the best one. Or if you're just trying to get your exotic ship, all of these things can come in handy. You can check one of the last 3 or 4 videos that I've talked about it on my channel. They'll also be linked in the top right corner or at the end of this video. And I also just wanted to head over to the Hall of Champions really quick and talk about some brave weapons, or a really interesting brave weapons farm glitch that I will probably talk about in greater detail in a later video if there's interest. But if you've been farming out your brave weapons for your God Rolls, Lunas Howl, or Mountaintop, or one of the other many really good ones, Recluse, and you want to get the exact weapon that you want using your brave tokens from the chest next to Shaxx, there is an interesting glitch where if you attune that weapon and then go and loot the chest within about 15 seconds, you will always get that weapon. You then have to go unattune that weapon, reattune it, and then run to the chest again, and you should always get the weapon you want. So we'll test this really quick, and maybe we'll get into it a little bit more in a later video. But the chest, of course, that I'm talking about is this chest, the one that's right next to Shaxx. So let's just do this one really quick, because this is an easy one. Oh, no, it's not. I'm not going to attune Blast Furnace. Forget that. We'll do, what's this one over here? This is, I can remember quickly, the Hammerhead. God, where's the good ones? What's over here? I'm looking for a primary. Lunas Howl or something. Forbearance. I've hit the 3 ones that I do not want. Forbearance is okay, I guess. Alright, Lunas Howl. So, we're going to attune Lunas Howl. I'm going to run quickly, if I can run, over to the chest and loot it. And as you can see, I got a Lunas Howl. Now let's see if I just redeem another one. Will I get another Lunas Howl? No. So, let's just test it one more time. I'm going to unattune it. I'm going to re-attune it. I'm going to run over to the chest. Forgive me because I'm doing this on my mouse and keyboard, and I don't usually play that often on mouse and keyboard, but again, I got another Lunas Howl. So, if you just keep doing that over and over again, you can get the exact weapon that you want and never waste any of your brave tokens. And that is going to be it for all the information in today's video. Oh, one more thing. Remember, legendary shards are going away. So, do something with them. Turn them into raid banners. You can go and trade them in for other pieces of loot, like at over on the moon. What's her name? This lady. Eris. Eris's name was escaping me, guys. I had a brain fart there. But you can also exchange for different pieces that will ultimately reward you just Glimmer at some of these other vendors. So either turn it into Glimmer, turn it into raid banners, but get rid of it before the launch. And that is officially it for today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. I know we went a little bit longer than we usually do today. But thanks so much for watching and listening as always. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the bell to post notifications, so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2, The Final Shape, content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. Remember, any of those things enter you into any future giveaways on the YouTube channel. We do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. And of course, when we reach 100,000 subscribers, if we reach 100,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away an Xbox Series X or a video card of equivalent value if you play on PC. And once more, I'm Wilhelm Scream. If you've watched to this point in the video, you can also leave a hashtag #TheFinalShape or hashtag XUR or hashtag Trials of Osiris in the comments section down below for another entry into the next giveaway for this video. And of course, we will see you next time. Hope everybody has a great weekend.